For me, the Arctic is not only a place with some of the biggest glaciers in the world, but home to some of the softest light and most extreme contrasts in nature that I've ever seen. Over the last 10 years, I've dedicated my life to documenting this region, first as a photographer, and then later transitioning into the world of natural history cinematography. I've had the opportunity to work on some very special productions such as Life on Our Planet and Our Universe. Through these series, I've spent hundreds of days at a time in the field, fine-tuning the craft of filming nature. As I began my transition into filmmaking, I had to figure out a way to bring the photographs to life that I'd become known for. In the beginning, I often used a drone for this because it was all about getting stable video and really thinking about the composition and how I could move through nature to really amplify the storytelling of a natural scene. And that is where DJI products have really been at the core of my workflow as I moved into video. My main tools today are the DJI Inspire 3 and the Ronin 4D. If you spend enough time outdoors, you're most likely going to come across some truly once-in-a-lifetime moments, and I've had a few of those unfold before my eyes, especially in the last couple of years. This is where having a full 8K RAW workflow has allowed me to maximize what I bring home from those moments. My history with DJI spans back almost 10 years. The Phantom and Mavic series really revolutionized the way that I shoot. I would scan satellite maps and find the most interesting locations I could, and then mount highland expeditions to try and find and film them. Over the years, my goal has simply been to dive deeper into storytelling, and with the evolution of DJI's products, to capture these locations in the highest resolution possible. The combination of the 8K workflow and the portability of the Mavic have really meant that I have a tool with me at all times to make the most out of filming nature. Being based in Iceland, I've had the opportunity to document the ongoing series of volcanic eruptions. Flying drones over one of the most extreme environments in nature comes with its fair share of challenges. The heat above the active craters can reach temperatures in excess of 1,800 degrees Fahrenheit. So proximity and battery heat need to be carefully managed. The 75mm 1.8 allows me to get even closer to the fissure eruptions and the lava flows without actually burning the drone, and has unlocked some very unique shots that I haven't been able to achieve before. Out of all the expeditions that I've done in the Arctic, low-light performance has never been more critical than on my journey to the North Pole. We actually traveled during the last possible window of light before the full 6-month polar darkness set in. Now it was quite dark around 90 degrees north, and this is where the dual native ISO of the Inspire 3 and the Ronin 4D really helped me to unlock the potential of that landscape. Because the light and conditions were quite difficult to work with behind the camera, I shot the whole expedition in ProRes RAW, which I convert to Cinema DNG for extra flexibility when I get to post-production. It's just that extra element of safety for documenting these very special moments outdoors. Out of all the polar expeditions that I've done, there's one that really stands out for the use of the Ronin 4D, and that is when I sailed to Antarctica. On that particular trip, I didn't have a drone with me, so I was relying solely on the Ronin 4D to get the job done. My goal for that expedition was to really push the sequence building from a ground perspective using the full set of DL lenses. I chose to use the DL lenses specifically to get the most out of the 4th axis stabilization. I wanted the Ronin 4D to be in its lightest possible form factor. Sailing across the Drake Passage in huge swells definitely pushed that 4th axis to its limits. For me, it is about removing distractions, and especially when you're on a moving ship, It is very hard to film handheld unless you have a gimbal of some kind, and the 4D is such an easy, compact system to achieve the ultimate stability. I travel with it in a small carry-on sized pelly case, and this means that I'm not limited to picking either my cinema setup or my photography setup. I can have everything with me in these environments just by having a camera bag and this one pelly case. I feel like the evolution of my career can really be reflected in the rapid growth and innovation of DJI's products. In the use of drones, I started out with the Phantom 4 Pro, progressed onto the Mavics, and then into the Inspire 2, which was my main workhorse for many years on cinema productions. With the introduction of the Inspire 3 and the Ronin 4D, I feel like all the limitations have been lifted, and now I can just put all of my energy and creativity into the storytelling and filmmaking aspects of filming nature.